Alrighty, so we need to talk about the Buu duo. It's a bit of a weird thing here because usually when I say, or people say that we need to talk about them, it's because they're not good enough. This guy is like, it's both. I'll say this, it's both. Because it's very weird for me to say they're not good enough because they are number one right now. They 100% are number one, no doubt about it. But they have issues in their kit that I really don't think they're going to last very long. As a matter of fact, it might be like an Ultra 4Ku situation, but the difference here is these guys, their kit just won't hold up. Because like the difference between him and them and Ultra 4Ku is Ultra 4Ku, his kit held up. It's just that he got countered by Vegito, and then him needing another GT ally hurt him, right? But this is different. I think this is more so because their stats and their kit might not just hold up. So first of all, I want to talk about this. The way it's like weird because like they're 100% number one. They have the most powerful attack in the game. Their stats are higher than everyone else, and that's where the line draws. The reason why they're number one is because their stats are higher than everybody else's. Okay, their stats are higher than anybody else's. Their Spirit Bombs are strongest attack, right? So that helps as well. But other than that, they're not doing anything else extremely special that would put, like, let's say for example, Ultra Gogeta Blue had the same damage and damage card numbers as this character. I think Ultra Gogeta Blue might be better. It might be really close, but Ultra Gogeta Blue might be a better character, right? And it's only like a month release difference. That's like, and it's only like maybe like 30% damage. Actually, I'm curious, how much damage does he have altogether on his start ability? Let's see, 360% damage, 330% damage card. Let's look at Gogeta here. I'm curious, how much does he have? Gogeta, he has the same amount of damage, but 300% damage guard. I guess it's kind of the same, right? I thought it would be a little more different. Wait, it was 330, right? Okay, no, the damage guard numbers are different. Okay, so I think the reason why they have the same amount of damage is because they stack damage on every card they use, right? So it's on arch use, so that I think that kind of makes sense, right? So they technically have a higher stat damage number than Gogeta does, but Gogeta is obviously lower. He has 30% higher damage guard. These guys have 30% higher damage guard. But there's like certain characters like that I'm scared for these guys, man, because their whole entire kit is to be selfish. First of all, you have to prioritize them, or else you're not going to get the Spirit Bomb off. And then first of all, it's also kind of difficult to get it off. There's a lot of steps to get to it. It's like 3 steps. There's 3 steps to get to the Spirit Bomb, so it's a little difficult to be able to actually get it off. And then there's going to be a certain point where if they're not the best character in the game, you're not going to want to be prioritizing them. So their value is just going to plummet. So the moment we get a character, they don't even have to counter these guys, but just a character that is obviously better than these guys, you always want to prioritize the best character on your team, because they're the best character on your team. You're going to use them more, right? But there's going to be a point where, because like these guys are probably one of the most selfish characters I think I've ever used in the history of this game. I wouldn't say in the history of this game, but from I've used in playing this game, because I've been playing since the 5th Annie. From what I've experienced, is this character transforming Vegito Blue and fusing Super Gogeta, probably the most. Well, fusing Super Gogeta, the difference with there is that he would get the gauge up pretty quickly because their defenses weren't that good. But this guy, without a doubt, these guys are definitely the most selfish character I've used for sure. Not even as close, because they have 3 steps to getting to their thing. The only unselfish thing they have is on their first activation. You don't have to be in the field when Goku starts charging up that Spirit Bomb. They don't have to be in the field for that. It will still be charging, so that's very, very unselfish there. But regardless, you have to fill up your attack gauge first, which requires a good amount of cards, which is something I'm going to talk about that gauge in a second. And then you have to click the thing, maybe take like 20 counts to fill up the gauge again, and then you have to do the Hercule pop up. You get ally damage, and then the actual Spirit Bomb go off. But that takes like but you have to actually be on the field for that. That takes maybe like 10 counts to go off, right? But they're very selfish, and they are very stat carried. If they were not, like I told you already, if their stats were not as high as they are, they will not be number one, and that's just a fact. Like they're overall a great character, but they're too selfish to really prioritize, especially in the long run. Like unless they really give these guys a favorable position, which I highly doubt because they always love to counter the Part 3 Ultras like very hard after a month or two. Like very, very hard. Like extremely hard. So I don't expect these guys to get any better. But when time goes on, I think their value is going to go lower and lower. With every release, I think their value is going to get lower and lower because the damage and damage cards are going to go up. There might be characters that become better than these guys, and they might be in the same team as these guys. And then you obviously want to prioritize the other characters, so it's going to be hard to do that with these guys. But the one thing that these guys have that's pretty insane and pretty stupid and they should not have, but could actually help their aging, believe it or not, is their half-health disrupt. They have a half-health disrupt before going to the first part of the Spirit Bomb preparation mode thing. So when they get to half health, their attack gauge fills up halfway. And people have already made videos about this already. Pretty big YouTubers have made videos about these guys already, but that disrupt is so stupid. Like even like there's a disrupt, I think Fusing Super Gogeta had it, and I think Transforming Vegito Blue also had it. But they have the same disrupt where they get benefited from losing. So basically, if you start losing, you start getting hit, and I mean, let me see if I can find the line. Where is it? Alright, here it is. Also, before entering preparation mode or after Super Spirit Bomb activation, if health is 50% or lower one time, activation share between Goku and Vegeta. Activation reset after Spirit Bomb activation. Health plus 30%, unique gauge plus 50%. That's the part where it's bad. And destroy enemy hand. Everything is fine on this disrupt except for the unique gauge plus 50%. Unique gauge plus 50% is insane. Because literally, if you understand how slow their gauge fills, it's not insanely slow, but it's slow to an extent. It's not like extremely. It's like average time to fill it up. But if you have you're fighting another Goku Vegeta, right, and they start hitting you, your gauge is going to fill up higher than theirs, and they've been hitting you, filling up their gauge just from the half health disrupt. That's how stupid this disrupt is. It's so the unique gauge plus 50%. That one thing is so dumb. But in the retrospect, it also could help their aging because as time goes along, their defenses are going to get worse, right? They're maybe they'll lose featured boost, and then their overall the power creep in the game is going to go up. That's to the point where if you're taking a little bit more damage, your unique gauge is going to fill up faster, right? Just from that half health disrupt. So, of course, people can play around it, but I feel like it's kind of unnecessary to play around it. You kind of are actually hurting yourself, even though I know it's a bad thing to get the Spirit Bomb off and stuff, like they're at an advantage, but overall, if you stopping your combo for their disrupt not to go off is kind of stupid because then you literally stop your combo. Just a lot of the times, it's going to happen like in the beginning of the match. There's no way for you to actually just one-shot kill them, so you kind of have no choice, right? They're going to get priority, they're going to still fill up their gauge regardless, and you're going to be taking more damage from it anyways from that. It's a double-edged sword, right? But for the most part, that's where that one line could actually be their saving grace in terms of them being able to age well, because what could happen is, even if they're not prioritizing them, you can switch into them, and then you have their gauge 50% already. And then you only have to use maybe 5 or 6 cards with them to get their unique gauge fill. And they do combo a long time, so it's not the end of the world being able to having to prioritize them at that point. But prioritizing them to get their full entire gauge without that disrupt up is annoying, right? But the only reason why you do that now is because they're the best character in the game. Their stats are higher than anybody else's. But it is a little nerve-wracking if you ask me. But like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's very hard to tell because I'll be surprised if they actually cater to this character throughout their lifespan. I highly doubt it. Most of the time, right after the release, they will normally release characters for the most part, kind of, that counter the new big Ultra in some sort of way. Like if you go back to Ultra Super Vegito, we got Red Cooler, I think a month or two after. He destroyed Super Vegito for the time being that he was in the meta. And then we go to, what was the Legend Fest that year? Gogeta Blue. Who was yellow? Oh, Kid Buu. That was a little bit later. I think that was 3 months after. But they always still obviously have targeted counters towards the Ultra more than any other character in Anniversary, right? And the Part 3 Ultra is always targeted way more than any other character. And then go 5th Annie, we got Vegito Blue, and then Janemba was the one that countered them. And Namegoku, you could also say kind of counter, but not really. He kind of did, but he I don't know if he was good enough to actually fully wall him off, right? And then UI Goku was Super 17, and that was only like a month later. Super 17 came out like a month later and just absolutely destroyed. I wouldn't say he completely put him out the meta, but he really hurt UI Goku. And then 6th anniversary Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Oh, they went above and beyond with him. They released Triku, who actually did a decent job at it, and then they released Ultra Majin Vegeta, who was probably the best character we've ever seen in this entire game. I'm not even joking. His kit's literally perfect, right? It's like there's no flaw, only like maybe one flaw. I don't even know what the flaw is, but it's like literally a perfect kit. And then after that, the nail in the coffin, if there already wasn't a nail in the coffin, they released Ultra Beast Gohan as yellow, which I still don't know why, but he was yellow, but he was. But there's that. And then 7th Annie. 7th Annie, it was a little bit weird because there was 2 Ultras, right? Oh, forgot. Legend Festival 2024. Ultra Cell countered Beast. He definitely countered Beast for a good amount of time until Blue Diamond Goku came out. It was very short-lived because Blue Diamond Goku came out like a month later. So it wasn't really like that long of a reign of Ultra Cell, right? And then the 7th Annie, Ultra Namek Goku, and Full Power Frieza. I guess you could say the counter to Ultra Namek Goku was Red Fusion Zamasu with his unique equipment. But it wasn't really long-lived, right? But the one that really hurt, was Ultra Full Power Frieza. With first of all, the battle system changed. That hurt Ultra Full Power Frieza. There was an update that hurt him. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it definitely hurt him. And then Ultra Corrupt Zamasu really hurt Ultra Full Power Frieza. I think they counter Ultra Full Power Frieza harder than Ultra Namek Goku, because obviously Namek Goku lasted forever. But yeah, man. And then what was Ultra? Okay, and then Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Goku. I think a month or 2 later, Ultra Legend Super Vegeta released, and he was purple, first ever superior element unit. So he destroyed Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And of course, they also restricted Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and that hurt him as well. I think he would actually still be decent if he didn't have that restriction, right? In fact, I would say, I know this isn't related to the Budo at all, but I would say Ultra Full Power Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, would probably still be top 10 right now if he didn't have any restrictions. That's how good his kit is, especially since he would be a good counter to these guys, right? He already kind of is. I used them yesterday. They're pretty good against these guys, right? But I would say even right now that he might be top 10 if he didn't have any restrictions. Like, his setups would be so much better. But for the most part, every Ultra, or at least one of the Ultras, if there's 2 Ultras, it gets heavily countered by something, right? They always target them really hard. So that's not a good sign. But like I said, power creep is going to hurt these guys, but it also might help them in a way, right? And then also comes down to Spirit Bomb. A lot of their damage from the Spirit Bomb comes to them having higher damage than the highest damage in the entire game, probably. I wouldn't say highest damage. I think Gohan and Trunks still has that. But overall, like, their stats are higher than everybody else. Like, at full start, their stats are higher. So that's why they're able to one-shot everything. But once we get, like, a super defensive character, like, what, I don't know, like, let's say like a green God Goku that's a completely defensive, right? I know that they you can run on the same team. Okay, let me say like Piccolo, like a green Piccolo from DB, or like Demon King Piccolo. I don't know, some random thing, something that's not that's powerful opponent. Well, something that's not powerful opponent in green. That's a defensive monster, right? They're a defensive monster, and they're green, and they're not powerful opponent. It's gonna hurt these guys like tremendously. Their Spirit Bomb won't do anything, right? Their Spirit Bomb literally won't do anything, right? So it's I feel like the blueprint is already set down as they're gonna counter them, because they have one line and also in their kit with the powerful opponent thing. They only go neutral against powerful opponent. I think even though they're number 1 right now, I think that also really hurts them going in the long run. I think they should have just been neutral against everything, and I know that'll make them more broken right now. But if you think about it in the long run, it would still be the same, right? They'll have more value in the long run if they had that one line changed, right? I think that's definitely a flaw. Of course, it's a flaw, right? But I'm scared for this character, man. I actually am scared, because they're all great and dandy right now. But I even said it I think in my first video talking about these guys. Like I've been saying this for a while. If you guys have been watching my videos, I'm scared for these guys. I don't think they're gonna age very well. And I've been telling my friends too. I told my friends about it too. They play this game. I've been telling them. I'm like, they look insane right now, but I don't think they're gonna age very well because of the way their Spirit Bomb works and they're getting carried by stats. Like it's crazy. But only time will tell. I might be wrong, but it's very not looking in the greatest for these guys in the long run. But enjoy the rain for now, I guess, because they are an insanely cool unit. I love their design. Except for that one line. That one line is stupid for now, but it's gonna probably help them age, like I said, a little bit better. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But you guys let me know what you guys think of the Boo Duo. I'm a little nervous because this is the one time I get lucky on an Ultra, and they might not age the greatest. But I mean, it is what it is, right? But I'll see you guys next one, man. Peace.